Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, where I'm so happy to be joined by the folks from Primary Children's Hospital. It's such an important part of our community, and they are here to talk about, of course, the fact that they're coming up on their telethon with KSL. And I've got Nicole Peterson here, as well as Linda Davies. Welcome, both of you, to the show.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. This is, of course, I think sort of, I think back to my childhood. And I think we had PBS on earlier, and I remember going to Primary Children's Hospital for my very first time, and I remember seeing a huge big bird at the end of one of the hallways there, and feeling like this is a place for kids. This is not a normal hospital. This is different, and I knew that immediately with just that one little icon. That really is kind of in a small, tiny way the whole point of what Primary Children's Hospital is all about, a place for kids to get the care they need.
Yep. Our motto is the child first and always. So, and that is throughout everything that is done there, whether it is the decorating.
Right.
We have some superheroes on the third floor now that's next to the piano area where people can go kind of let off some steam. There is a MRI room that is completely decorated like a pirate ship.
Really?
So as they're going through the big circle,
that's part of the
looks
ship?
like a big steering wheel.
Wow.
So it's definitely made to help children feel a lot more at ease while they're going through things that are a lot of times very painful and scary.
Well, to say the least. Some of the things that I've read and some of the kids that I've talked to at that hospital are, I mean, the level of courage that we're talking about, exponentially higher than many adults have ever had to deal with. I can't even imagine the kind of mustering that kind of courage, and yet little kids do it all the time. It's amazing.
They are, and you know, the really cool thing about it is that not only do we take care of the child itself, themselves, but we also take care of the siblings too, because in a lot of ways, that child gets a lot of attention. So the hospital has, not only do they have things for the children, like when you're sick and you're hungry for a milkshake in the middle of the night,
right?
You can call the cafeteria and you can say, I want a milkshake, and they'll get it right up to you. But if the family has siblings as well, they have an area where the siblings can go while where their one sibling is being treated. They can go and do all kinds of different things there, playing with things.
Important.
So the hospital is kind of the whole thing. It's a great
holistic approach to that family.
Absolutely.
Because I remember there's some, think about this from a child's perspective, there's some weird feelings that come up when you're the sibling, because your brother or sister is getting a ton of attention.
Right.
And good or bad, and you don't know how to feel about that, right? And so but you want attention too. Your family is entirely focused on them at that moment. And so, to understand that and relate to that, and then give them a place to be able to feel like they're getting that attention too,
right?
And in the right way, and not having to strain relationships with parents and the sibling. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a great thing for the whole family. That's the beauty of the hospital.
There's so many things you guys do that make it so much better. I want to talk about my personal experience there with my son. We've talked about this a couple of times, and it'll get me. It always does. But that's the whole point. My kid sets the standard for croup in Utah. They said he's the only kid who's ever got there in the middle of winter with croup and still has all of the symptoms.
Right.
Because typically you go there in the winter, and by the time you get there in the cool air, it's gone.
I know.
Yeah, they're still having it. I mean, they've had to intubate him. They've had to do all those things. And when you're a parent, all of that is scary. And I got to tell you, everybody there was, able to calm. I mean, how do you calm a dad down? They do.
They do.
And they did.
Right.
And that's what makes it possible to get through these trials that you're involved in with your kid.
And the one thing that you'll probably see is not only are the doctors great, but the nurses and those therapists, even the custodial staff, they're all there to help. And believe a lot of us know that when you go to the hospital, you are scared. You don't know what's happening, and then to have that that care taken.
Well, everybody's
of
name
you.
on the board. Your
Right.
kid knows everybody. It's amazing. They know the janitor. They know
They
the people
do.
that are coming through their room. And I think the biggest one for me, and this, again, kind of easing a parent, I remember I went in when he was going under anesthesia, and they said, now look, this is going to be scary and it's going to be hard, and you need to know that going in, that if you can't manage this, it's fine to not be here, but if you want to be here with him, just know that right as he goes under anesthesia, he's going to shake, and some things are going to happen that's going to get scary.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, are you kidding? And thank goodness they had, like I said, they prepared me.
Yep.
Right.
And this is just so much a part of what they do. Every little bit of it is about that whole family, making sure everybody can get through these things. It's just
Absolutely.
impressive.
Yep.
Now, to do all that, and this is the other part, financially, there's a huge cost
Yep.
to the hospital. And they do not pass that on to any of these families, right?
Well, no, they do. It is a hospital where they go through
Right.
insurance and traditional
Right,
means of
of
billing.
course.
Yes,
But if they have no ability to
every
pay-
child is treated. No
Yeah.
child is ever turned away.
That's awesome.
Last year, they gave away $6.1 million in charity
Wow.
care. Those are people who maybe their child's problem exceeded their income level,
Yeah.
or they were uninsured or underinsured. So they do give away that much money
That's amazing.
towards that care. Mhm.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't have to worry about, okay, I can't go. You
Right.
can.
Right. Yes.
We
Everybody.
figure that out later.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, we've heard stories from people who they were in the hospital for several days before anybody ever approached them and said, "Okay, let's get your insurance information."
Yeah.
Where you go to other hospitals, it's the first thing they take care of the child first,
They're not
and then
letting
they
you
figure
through
out
the
later.
doorway yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they figure out later, okay, let's figure out your financial situation and
Wow.
get that taken care of.
To make sure that that is able to continue, that's what the telethon is all about.
Yes.
So you guys, of course, teaming up as always with KSL.
Yeah.
Tell me about the telethon.
Well, it's going to be on Friday, June 2nd from 6 to 9 p.m. That people can call in. But the other good thing is we also, throughout, even right now and throughout that day up till 6 o'clock, you can go online at kslkids.com to do any kind of donation.
Yeah, you don't have to wait.
No,
You can do
right,
this now.
right. You can do it today, any day, and golly, you can do 8 or 10 donations if
Why
you want.
not? Do one every day.
Absolutely.
Right? Set up
So,
for a yearly, you can do that too. Yeah.
you can do that as well.
Wow.
So it's very convenient, and it's very worthwhile.
And a chance to be a hero.
You can be a
Yes.
hospital
I
hero.
love that. Hospital hero.
Right.
Yep.
This is great.
Our theme this year is Hospital Heroes, and the heroes are, some of mine are the children, as well
Mine
as
too.
like the custodian or the security guard. When you
Yeah.
walk
Right.
in, the one that
Right.
in the building where we meet, he's always so happy. He is always, playing with the kids, giving them gifts and toys. There's heroes throughout
welcoming.
the hospital.
Well, it's a very welcoming environment, and it's
Yeah.
all about, as you said, the child first and always.
Yep.
Always.
Primary Children's Hospital. If they want more information about it and the telethon, where do we go?
KSL.com or
Okay.
KSLkids.com.
Okay.
And we're there to have a really good, successful telethon this year.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so very much, as always,
Thank
for being
you.
here. Again, it's Primary Children's Hospital. Be a hospital hero, the child first and always. And of course, that relies a little bit on you. So make sure you help out this year as we celebrate all the great work that Primary Children's Hospital does. We'll be back with more here on the Mountain Morning Show. We're getting back into the kitchen and a whole lot of other stuff. You'll want to stay tuned right here to Park City Television.